All right, welcome to another edition of the GO Show here on News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team. Joining me is Brandon Aksamit. Brandon, what's going on?
Glad to be here. Got a haircut today.
And it's looking good.
Thank you.
It's looking fresh, and you had to change up barbers.
I did. Harry Skipton, shout out to him. He broke his arm or shoulder or something falling on the ice. He's been my go-to. He's a great barber. Wishing him a speedy recovery.
Hopefully he's all right. Yeah. And he is. That is unfortunate. We hope no one likes to get a broken shoulder or broken arm.
We started this on a dark note. I'm sorry.
But that's all right. That's all right. It's going to get happy as we get through here. So as far as social media goes, Columbus Indie News for Twitter and CNT Grant Otten for myself on Twitter if you want to follow me. Columbus News Team on Facebook, columbusnewsteam.com or News Channel Nebraska. News Channel Nebraska Sports. Now, before we get started, before some people watch this, probably watch this before Girls State takes place, and some will probably watch it after. But if they watch it after, then they can catch Boys State basketball. So we have this big conglomerate of all our stations coming together to do this sports network and do a preview show. You are going to, and a post-game show. You are going to be one of the main people on this show. Do you want to talk a little bit about, I guess, what's going on?
Yes, I do. Basically, the first undertaking for News Channel Nebraska, but, you already mentioned the conglomerate. We have Norfolk, we have Columbus, we have Fremont, we have Nebraska City, Beatrice, and Wayne, all these different kind
Seems like it doesn't end.
Communities. Yeah, and so between all those different little entities, there's 14 teams in this girls' state tournament, and so we're basically sending everybody we have, all hands on deck. You are going to be holding down the fort here.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of reporters going to basically every game, covering any single team that's in this coverage area. And Fullerton and Howells Dodge, those are our teams where we're rooting for. Unbiased, of course.
Yeah.
That's who we're pulling for here in the Columbus area. We're going to be basically doing a live show. The reporters are going to be getting packages all throughout the day. We're going to come together at night, and we're going to go live with myself and Eric McKay, the sports guy up in Norfolk, and we're basically going to host an hour to an hour and a half long show each night, recapping Thursday's the first round, then Friday's the semis, and then Saturday we'll be recapping the whole state tournament as there's 6 games for all the 6 classes, and it's going to be good. We're excited to do it. It's going to be on News Channel Nebraska 48 as well as every other website,
outlet that we have, yeah.
TV outlet, whatever, what have you. And we're going to be giving these girls and guys coverage because it's going to be this week girls and next week the same
guys.
format. So
it might even have more from our area for next week, but
yes.
There's some good boys basketball in the area too, and Howells Dodge and Fulton obviously playing some great basketball right now, but a lot of good basketball teams from here in central Nebraska will be fighting their way through state. But NCN Sports is going to be the Twitter handle, correct? I believe
yes.
It's News Channel Nebraska Sports, NCN Sports. So if you want to know what's going on, go to NCN Sports, and it'll literally have every single highlight package, update, games, everything. It's just going to be this mass undertaking, very cool thing that's happening right now, and really nothing quite like this around. I mean, there's a lot of big people going into the state tournament and do a lot of coverage, but there's really nothing quite like this.
No, never been a live show. And, of course, I didn't even mention it's going to be on the mezzanine in Pinnacle Bank Arena. That is our set. The court's going to be our backdrop, so we're very excited how that's just going to look aesthetically. And it's going to look pretty big time because we are big time. News Channel Nebraska is growing, and we're taking on the sports state tournament coverage seriously, and we're going to let the rest of the state know we're here and we're not to be trifled with.
No, not to be trifled with at all, and it's very cool. Everything that's going on. If you're curious at all about it, go watch some other packages. I mean, we got various sports packs from all over. I help out with sports when I can as far as packs, usually when it's during the day or sometimes evening stuff. There's a lot going on. But Brandon, you, and then John Kipper and everybody we have in the sports does a great job putting that stuff together. So I don't know. I'm excited. From this end, I'm going to be doing news, so I won't be able to get directly involved with it, but it's going to be fun to kind of watch how you guys undertake everything. Before we get into after we get to that, I want to get to some golf here in a little bit and some other stuff as well. But soccer's coming up. So another big thing, I guess, is almost an announcement segment here in this first part. But another big thing is we're going to be broadcasting soccer games this year. And now the one I'm excited about is when we're starting the year off here and we're doing this Columbus tournament. I guess do you want to talk a little bit about what this plan, or without giving too much away, I guess, if you don't want to give certain details away, what is kind of in store that we're doing this year for soccer that we didn't get a chance to do last year? And I know you, as well as I, am very excited about it.
Well, expanding our broadcast coverage, we've never done soccer before, and you'd be surprised how much goes into having to figure out logistically about broadcasting here. We had to get the cell coverage, making sure we had a strong enough signal strength, and then you have the sun because you're outside, so we had to figure out which field to be on at which time of the day, which would allow us to not interfere with our cameras. But Kay Arlt, the lady who does all the field assignments for all the high schools in Columbus out at Wilderness Park, we got in touch and we made a schedule. We worked together, and very excited. We're covering all three teams pretty much equally. Schuyler's a game on there. Northeast, or Lutheran High Northeast is coming down to Columbus, so we're getting some Norfolk teams as well. But we'll just talk about the first week of the season. SCOTUS always has the SCOTUS Invite, which is SCOTUS, Columbus High, and Lakeview, as well as Crete, girls and boys. And we will be broadcasting games from there. First round, a boys game, a first round girls game, and, of course, the two championship games. Haven't got official confirmation because normally the girls and boys championships plays at 10 at the same time.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to hear back from Mr. Gary Pitts of SCOTUS, hopefully allowing the boys to be at noon and the girls to be at 10 so we can do back-to-back championships.
Should be awesome.
But we're very excited. SCOTUS, of course, the defending state champs 2 times over on the boys' end. The girls' team's supposed to be very strong. It's always the same for Columbus High, boys and girls. And Lakeview, after talking to Kay Earl, is supposed to be stronger on both the girls and boys' ends as well. So, and one thing I found out about covering them last year is the SCOTUS fans, or the soccer fans, excuse me, very much supportive of their teams, and they're rampant. The soccer pride around here is very strong.
Soccer is very big around here, and I didn't play soccer in high school. I played indoor league for a year with a couple of my classmates in the team back then, but then I went back out for track. So, but soccer is just really big, and on my senior year, it was Columbus High versus SCOTUS in the state championship. So you can imagine it was just as popular back then as it is now. And with the team like SCOTUS, and the fact that they're only losing, I believe, like 2 people on a chance for a three-peat is pretty impressive. So they're going to be a blast to watch this year. And usually, now not saying this is going to be the case this year, but usually it's Columbus High, SCOTUS, at least in the boys division, that face each other off in that tournament. And so that would be very exciting to see those two face off, as well as Lakeview. If Lakeview got the upset on SCOTUS, which at this point that's anybody SCOTUS faces is probably an upset because they're just that good, and you got to take what they did last year and bring that into this first tournament. So best of luck to Lakeview in that match, and if they get an upset, that'd be pretty crazy, and it'd be fun to watch them in the championship too. But if we get SCOTUS and Columbus High, that would be quite a bit of fun to go check out, and so I'm looking forward to it. I know you got to be really excited.
I am, being a soccer fan. I'll give them a little bit more of a sneak peek. The first round games we have decided is Columbus boys and Crete boys, day 1, and then Lakeview SCOTUS girls. And then, of course, it's whoever advances to the championships. They potentially could get a double dose of coverage that weekend, but we're looking forward to it all the same. And that is, what's the date? The 18th and 19th of March. So that'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, it's going to be state basketball. Then all of a sudden we're doing soccer, but that's all right. It's going to change pace, but it's going to be fun to get back outside. I was outside doing softball the other day, and I was pretty happy to be back there again. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more soccer and a little bit more golf and a couple other things after the break. We'll be right back. It's the GO Show here on News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Hi, I'm Joe Steffi.
And I'm Michelle Steffi.
And we would like to invite you to our new dealership now located on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
We are ready to meet all of your automotive needs.
So come and see what makes us different. Gene Steffi Ford, now on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference. In many aspects of life, there are lines between where we work and where we play. But when we cross that line, it's when we become connected to our community. At Columbus Community Hospital, neighbors take care of neighbors. With years of experience and training, caring for everyone, young and old, day or night, the expertise to handle the simple and complex, and provide personalized care in your own backyard. It connects us. Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in you.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it. And Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
Central Community College, investing in you. Academic transfer, business, health, and technical courses all available at a fraction of the cost of a university. Small class sizes for an enhanced educational experience. Get started on improving your future. Contact Central Community College Columbus campus.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the marketing director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Ever wonder where those mysterious spots and stains come from? Call your local Heaven's Best carpet and upholstery cleaning technician. You can enjoy life, and we'll clean it up.
Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning, the cleanest carpet you'll ever see.
Heaven's Best. You've tried the rest, now try the best. Call George at 402-564-9060 or on the web at columbusne.heavensbest.com.
All right, welcome back to News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team, the GO Show. Joining me is Brandon Aksamit. Brandon, thanks for coming on.
Glad to be here as always.
So we talked a little bit of soccer there in the first break. So because, and if people might not know this, you're a really big soccer fan. Now we said a lot of big soccer fans around here, so you'd get in pretty conversationally with a lot of people. But you are a very big soccer fan. So I'm curious. Did you play soccer in high school?
I did not.
You kind of came on to soccer after high school, wasn't it? That when you
I played up through 8th grade.
Okay.
Then you had to choose between baseball and soccer, excuse me. I do have a U13 state cup.
Hey, there we go.
On my belt, a medal, as well as I probably have about 20 medals, so I like to think I was pretty good back in the middle school range.
Hey, I like that.
And and so then I came back to sort of following USA through the World Cup and following the English Premier League and called soccer for Time Warner Cable in Lincoln, and I like it. I fell back in love, if you will.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm curious about. What was the moment for you, I guess, that you fell back in love with soccer? Was there ever a moment when you were, because I know you played too recreationally on Sundays and that kind of thing and playing some leagues. Was there ever like a moment where you're like, this is why I love this sport? Or, man, soccer, that's my niche thing again? Because you left it, then you came back.
Well, I do have a good story about that. Basically, World Cup, 2010 USA. Can't remember. I think it was Algeria they were playing, but it was the knockout or is the opening group round, and USA needed to get a win to advance to the 16 round of 16. And I think you remember this. Landon Donovan scored in stoppage time, and I just went crazy and like late with all my friends. We were watching it, and just like the feeling I felt, I'm like, this is amazing. But the World Cup only comes around every 4 years. I need this feeling more.
Yeah.
So I decided at that point that I was going to follow an English Premier League team, which is one of the biggest leagues in the world, and I picked Arsenal. The reason I picked Arsenal because back in 1999, when I was in 5th grade and playing soccer in the midst of my career, I bought FIFA 99 for the first time and didn't know anything about soccer. There was a team named Arsenal. I didn't know that they were in England or what it meant, but it was the default team that you could pick, and I always played with them, and they were really good. They were one of the best teams in the league. So after the World Cup in 2010, I said I need to follow soccer, and that's when I decided I'm going to follow Arsenal, and I've been following them ever since, and here I am.
And the thing with soccer, too, so I think in fandom, no matter where it's high school, I think you can be a little more lenient as far as you come from Columbus. As long as the two teams aren't playing each other, I can root for SCOTUS and Lakeview and Columbus High. If they play each other, I got to go Columbus High. I'm an alumni. If we're calling it, I'm unbiased is what I tell people. Maybe not in my head, but when I'm calling it, I try to be unbiased. But with soccer, the team you choose is very much almost a religion as far as close as religion can get to sports, I would say. So I guess when it comes to picking the team, do you almost have to go with a good team, or do you ever run into people that are like hardcore Arsenal fans or discomfort among other people that are fans with the rivals?
Well, I mean, reading articles, I try to try to be civilized because, I mean, you read articles and you see all these things about in England. I mean, for example, Arsenal and Tottenham are like hated rivals. They're both in London. Their stadiums are like 3 miles apart, and Arsenal has a holiday. Whenever they know that they're not going to be passed by Tottenham, in the league that year, which has been the same case for the past 20 years. They have like a holiday where everyone goes off work and they like party like crazy just because they hate Tottenham so much. And it's like dying for them. And I really like Arsenal, and it's been a religion on the aspect, every Saturday, 9 months out of the year, you get to watch your team play, and that's great. But as far as like, if I see a guy who likes Tottenham or likes Chelsea, I try to be like, hey, that's cool. We're still civilized here. We're still friends.
Yeah.
But I know it's way more intense over like
overseas.
In England and in the world where people can riot and things.
Soccer's big here, but it's
is.
not as big as like the NFL or even the NBA. Arguably, I mean, when you get to the World Cup, you're going to get a lot of everybody's about supporting the USA.
Right.
Obviously, you got. And I went to Country Stampede a couple years back when they were playing the World Cup, and everybody was like sitting there. They had it on a projector screen, and everybody had like scarves and stuff, and of course like drinks and stuff, and was just cheering on. And it was a blast to watch, and everybody was into it, so that was fun. But there's so many different levels to soccer, but it is. I don't know. I'm excited just for the high school this year. It's going to be a blast to cover. Just what do you think the odds are for SCOTUS to take a run at the three-peat this year?
I think they're as good as you could hope for if you're Coach Brzezinski. I mean, they won it 2 years ago as sophomores. They repeated last year as juniors. And like you already mentioned, only lost a couple players, and they're all seniors. Kind of the same situation as football. They had all those seniors coming back. It's about the same for soccer. I mean, some of the mainstays about Bailey Pelster plays defense. Jake Boss is in the midfield, who is deceptively agile and fast with a soccer ball even. I couldn't imagine before seeing him last year that he could do that. In contrast to what you see him doing on the football field or the wrestling.
And you got like Fultz, who can score pretty well. I think he was probably like the second leading scorer last year, probably top returner, huh?
Yes, he was a key player. He actually wasn't able to play in the state championship game because of, SCOTUS fans will remember, a somewhat controversial red card in that semifinal, but he's ready to go. He's coming back. He was, the leading scorer, as you mentioned. So there's so many weapons for this Shamrocks team, and if they stay healthy, that's always the big caveat, If you stay healthy is the way you can win, but I think they have just about as good of a shot as if they don't let it go to their head. Some teams, not even saying you think they would, but teams like, we've done it twice before. Sometimes they maybe get complacent. If they guard against that and stay focused, there's no reason why they can't.
I know. And one of my favorite, I don't know if this is not even really a soccer movie, but every time I think of soccer, me and my friend, most of my friends played soccer when I got to high school, and like you met that high school group of friends. Most of them played soccer that I played football with. But Green Street Hooligans, now it's not like a movie you should watch unless you're over the age of 18, or because I believe it's rated R. But I don't know. I love that movie. That's a great movie, and it's an intense movie. But I always think of that movie. You've seen that, I assume, by this look on your face. It's a pretty awesome one.
It is, and that's what I mean about being intense overseas. I know it's a movie, maybe not entirely accurate, but the whole firms thing and fighting and beating people up if your team loses, and
it's intense. It's next level. I suppose if you're born into that culture of like. If you're born into like the families that are into that culture, older brothers or stuff, maybe it's just like that's life to you. And I'm not saying everybody in England or Europe is like fighting each other over their soccer team, but it's thankfully not that bad when it comes to high school soccer. We don't have Lakeview and SCOTUS kids beating each other after the game, so it'll be good. All right, we're going to talk a little bit of golf when we come back. We had a new signing today, and we had another signing, I think it was about a week ago, so we're going to talk about those when we get back here on the GO Show, Columbus News Team and News Channel Nebraska.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Hi, I'm Joe Steffi.
And I'm Michelle Steffi.
And we would like to invite you to our new dealership now located on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
We are ready to meet all of your automotive needs.
So come and see what makes us different. Gene Steffi Ford now on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference. In many aspects of life, there are lines between where we work and where we play. But when we cross that line, it's when we become connected to our community. At Columbus Community Hospital, neighbors take care of neighbors. With years of experience and training caring for everyone, young and old, day or night, the expertise to handle the simple and complex and provide personalized care in your own backyard. It connects us. Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in you.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it. And Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
Central Community College, investing in you. Academic transfer, business, health, and technical courses all available at a fraction of the cost of a university. Small class sizes for an enhanced educational experience. Get started on improving your future. Contact Central Community College Columbus campus.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the marketing director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Ever wonder where those mysterious spots and stains come from? Call your local Heaven's Best carpet and upholstery cleaning technician. You can enjoy life, and we'll clean it up.
Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning, the cleanest carpet you'll ever see.
Heaven's Best. You've tried the rest, now try the best. Call George at 402-564-9060 or on the web at columbusne.heavensbest.com.
All right, welcome back to News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team. It is the GO Show. Joining me is Brandon Aksamit again for another segment. Brandon.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. I'm glad you're here.
I'm always glad to be here. That's what I always say, but it's true.
It's true.
That's how I feel.
the emotion is raw on this show. Just like, it's like a soap opera on here. That's how raw the emotion is. You're my most emotional guest I ever have.
There we go.
That's
I'm
all
a
right.
Sentimental man.
You were at a signing earlier today, Marshall Dryfirst, and
Yes.
I was, I believe it was, I'll have to look this up. I think it was Jacob, it was Jacob Wright, also from SCOTUS, is going to Northeast Community College. But Marshall Dryfirst is going to Columbus. I guess you want to talk a little bit about him and I guess what that was like, because you got to sit down, you got to talk to Carl Dearman and Marshall himself.
Marshall, a very well-liked individual. There was a lot of students and athletes in attendance for his signing, and he's a cool cat. You know, I was talking to him afterwards. He said, he's talking real philosophical, saying how, life, he's learned a lot from it, which you can from golf. It teaches you how to manage your anger, if nothing else. But said, I want to stay in Columbus. I've known since I was a freshman I wanted to go to CCC. His mom actually teaches there, and this has been his goal. He's achieved that goal, and he's ready to take the next step. He said, I love my town. I want to stay in Columbus. I like the campus, and I like the sport most times. He did say he sometimes hates it, but that happens for everything.
It can be one of those deals in golf. You can get a little angry sometimes if things aren't falling your way. But that's part of that anger management, too.
Right, exactly.
But I guess it sounded like he's one of those guys, and I haven't got a chance to watch him very much, but he sounds like one of those guys that maybe has a lot of potential. At least that's what Carl Dearman was talking about. Did he give you any positives about his game moving forward?
He did. He said he thrives under pressure, and he cited back in the district championship, he shot third place overall. He led the Scotus Shamrocks to that district championship, which catapulted them then to state, and he admittedly said they didn't do as well as they wanted to in state, but he's just a golfer that he does well under stressful situations.
Yeah.
Coach Dearman says he tries to recreate these situations in practice for him because that's when he gets the best out of him. And Marshall, said, we didn't do as well as we wanted to as a junior, and we have our sights set on that state title this year as a senior. He wants to go out on a high note. The SCOTUS golfers, by all intents and purposes, are hungry, and he's ready to get back at it.
And Jacob Wright's going to be another one of those guys who I said signed a couple weeks ago. He's going to Northeast, so they'll be playing each other actually a couple times, I'm sure, throughout out there. Seasons and 2 college years that they go out and do athletics for those 2 teams. But Jacob, very strong short game and a good putter and very good just right around the green. He has got some other, he can hit the ball pretty decently long and that kind of stuff too, but it's going to be exciting to see how he develops his game moving forward at the college level, and he seems excited to get out of town and maybe a little farther away from Columbus. And Norfolk's a good distance. You're 45 minutes away, so mom and dad can come up and buy you a meal or take you out to eat or something, but at the same time, you're not sitting at their house. But if you're like Columbus, like Marshall does, and he obviously has a love for CCC going up there too. That's nice that he gets to do that. Do you ever get to go out and golf much?
Not a whole lot. I did before the winter. I was telling you, Jim Ager. That's kind of my MO right now because I'm not a good golfer at all. But I would go out every Sunday.
That's
with
where
my
you're
brother.
battle tested.
That's where you got to start with the basics. And so I think I might have told you this too. Never in my golfing career have even made a par. I've gotten some bogeys and I've been close, but I'm still trying. That's my goal right now.
You've seen the milk in the fridge. You've just never had a glass.
Never, and it's slightly upsetting. I even took a free or one of those 1-credit courses at UNL, where you learn from a golf pro. It doesn't count really towards anything other than a credit, and you have to pay money to do it. But I'm like, I'm on my 5th year as a college student. I'll learn some golf and go into the world well equipped. And I didn't improve. I'll be honest. And I don't think it was the instructor's fault. I just
didn't make any.
It just didn't help me. It wasn't the right approach for me to improve as a golfer. So I'm just. It's getting warmer out. I'm probably going to start hitting up Jim Ager again. That's in Lincoln, for those who don't know, a little par 3 course where I try to go home when I can to see my family. And, we'll see where that takes me.
I like golfing Quail Run and Elks here in town. Elks is a little bit different. It's a little tighter. There's a lot more trees, so you got to be a little more accurate. Quail Run's a little bit longer, and I like golfing Quail Run. It's a little bit more open, so it probably suits my game a little better, but it's still a pretty quality course. It's pretty long. We went out on this last weekend, and I probably golfed the worst game I've golfed in the last 4 years or so. But it's winter golf, as Aaron was saying. Right. Aaron Trout, our director, was saying it still counts as winter golf, so it's too early to count. And I'm battling the cold of winter and trying to get my game back together. But my brother Matt golfed up at Seward, and so I kind of in a nice situation because he golfed all the way through high school. I didn't golf in high school. I never really thought of golf as being I never just thought of that as hey, I can compete at golf. But he did start a little younger than me, but I get the hammy ups. So he gets all these nice clubs because he's good enough to use them. And when he gets tired of them, I get his nice clubs and give my free pair. I just got rid of. I have a free pair of clubs I had for 7 years until Matt gave me his nice used ones. So I got rid of those. But that was pretty nice. We're gonna potentially be doing some. I don't want to give too much away, but we're potentially doing some baseball this summer too. But now, who knows if we'll actually get. That's so early in the pot. The egg hasn't even come out of the chicken yet. But I don't know. Baseball is going to be fun, and I'm excited for the rest of the sports events to come down. Is there any other surprises, I guess, we need to know as far as the soccer schedule?
Let me see. Let me look. Well, for SCOTUS fans, this is a good thing. We're covering 2 games a week as sort of the format, and we're, like I said, keeping it pretty even boys through girls. Now, SCOTUS, being one of the top teams in the state, they travel a few times, and they have some away tournaments, one at Creighton Prep, one at Papillion, where they play some of the best teams in the state. And potentially, if we can get the funding and the proper sort of, I guess you would say, support, we may be making that trip to Creighton Prep. I know that's a big tournament statewide that the fans really enjoy, too, and you really get to see that measuring stick of where SCOTUS stands as a top team in Class A, and we would love to do those as well. So those are a couple weekend tournaments, and we're also looking at doing district championships, which Columbus hosts. So if a Columbus team makes it for Columbus High or Norfolk, we'll be doing those as well. So as for that, we'll be publishing the full schedule shortly, and I guess we'll just leave it with we're very excited. I am, and I think you are as well. It's nice broadcasting, too. It's outside, so we get to be in the sun and feel the breeze. And
it's going to be good.
Relaxing. I love basketball. It's just a change of pace. It's a little bit more smooth and calm. Basketball, so boom, boom, boom. So
it's always fun to switch things up too. It's always nice once we get towards the end of a season to get into another sport and start just changing the pace, like you said, a little bit. That'll be good. Well, as far as this weekend goes and next week goes, NCN Sports on Twitter. Make sure you follow that for all of the sports action, everything highlight package, updates, games, everything. Brandon, Eric, the whole crew is going to be down there getting those updates ready for you guys. So make sure you stay on that. And Fullerton, Howell Dodge, best of luck to you ladies as you compete in state. We hope we can see you guys hoisting up a trophy at the end. We're not calling games this weekend, so we can be a little bit biased, I guess, here right now. So best of luck to you girls. girls, and we hope he can go all the way. Columbus Any News, the rest of the year, NCN Sports and Columbus Any News. Make sure you follow us for all news and sports stuff. CNT Granoff, if you want to follow me. Columbus News Team on Facebook and columbusnewsteam.com and newschannelnebraska.com for our website. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Geo Show. Brandon, thanks for joining me again, man.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
And thank you guys for joining us as well. We will see you next week. I'm Grant Otten. This is News Channel Nebraska.